Hey everyone, my name is John, and I want to give you a quick rundown of a new guitar I actually got for Christmas from my wife, so thanks for that, sweetie. This is the Fender Modern Player Jazzmaster, and I haven't seen too many YouTube videos about it, so I want to give you just a quick look at what it's like, and maybe play you some sounds, so hopefully you can determine whether or not this is a guitar you're interested in. So for those who don't know much about this guitar, what it is a Fender on the headstock, official Fender Jazzmaster. It is crafted in China, but I have to say that I've been really impressed with the overall quality of the guitar. But basically, it's modern player in that they've redone the electronics here. There's no complicated electronics that's typically on the top horn in a classic Jazzmaster. All it is two humbucking pickups. So, right there, different than a normal classic Jazzmaster. This is two humbucking pickups, and the electronics here are, of course, one volume knob, one tone knob, and a three-way switch to determine which pickup is active, or both. And, so it is kind of a player's guitar. I like it a lot because I feel like I've been able to get a lot of different sounds out of it. So I want to go through a few of these with you just to see, kind of how it sounds. They'll let you know a few other things about the guitar. It does have the classic Jazzmaster style tremolo system. Now, I've never owned like a classic or a vintage Jazzmaster, so I can't tell you how this compares to those. I do understand from what I've read that this is closer to like the Mexican-made classic player style tremolo setups. I do know that this is a tune-o-matic bridge. I've had no problems at all with strings popping out of saddle or intonation problems really at all. It came set up pretty great from the factory. I just had to lower the bridge just a little bit. The neck feels really nice, no sharp edges or anything like that. The headstock and the back of the neck are sort of lacquered in the same way, and that gives you a really smooth but also kind of sticky feeling. Not sticky in a bad way, but sticky in kind of a grippable way. It's definitely high gloss, but I like it because I feel like it helps me hang on to the neck to be able to use this tremolo arm. I believe the neck, you'd have to double check me on this, but I believe it's a 9.5 radius neck. It feels really nice. And yeah, the tuners work great. I have no problem with it staying in tune. All the electronics are really solid. The knobs, by the way, are the jazz bass style knobs, which is kind of different. I think it looks cool, and I actually think it makes them easier to turn in the heat of the moment because it's got those kind of deep indentations there, so that's nice. The body is made out of mahogany, which I'm not usually someone who goes nuts for the kind of wood the guitar is made out of, but I have to say that this being my first mahogany guitar, I found that it has a really nice resonance to it that I don't find in my other guitars. So just show you a few sounds, just to let you know what I am. I'm running it through my Ibanez TSA15 amplifier. That's a all-tube combo amp. I think it has a really nice, clean sounding section to it, and also takes pedals really well, so I think it'll make a good demo amp. It also has a Tubescreamer built into the amp itself, so you'll be able to hear some Tubescreamer sounds. So I'll start with clean, and just we'll hear how it sounds. Now, one thing I wanted to think is pretty cool I want to tell you that I thought was pretty cool was the tone knob. I think has quite an impressive dynamic between all the way down and all the way up. I'm going to switch on a EQ pedal, which might make it a little bit brighter and more dynamic. So that's all on the neck, or I should say the bridge pickup. Switching to the neck pickup. Actually, I think it has a fairly almost acoustic sound to it, especially when you dial down the tone a little bit. Yeah, so you're able to get a whole lot of different sounds through these two pickups in a relatively simple electronic setup. For those who might be missing the jazz circuit that's part of the original Jazzmasters, I have to say that if you dial down the tone and use the neck pickup, you can still get some pretty mellow jazz tones out of it, I think. Okay, so I'll just sort of change my reverb setting there so it doesn't interfere with the sound too much. Let's show you how some distorted sounds sound like. Switching off my EQ pedal. I do think it responds really well to pedals, and one thing I noticed is just as the tone knob provides for a lot of different kinds of sounds as you turn it, the volume knob, I think, makes the dynamics of the guitar really known. So I'm playing with the Tubescreamer not all the way up, but I do have the volume of the guitar all the way up. Listen to what it sounds like as I turn the volume down. Now back all the way up. Now with the EQ pedal, volume on the guitar down. Volume on the guitar all the way up. So the volume itself sort of acts as a tone regulator in a way. Like this is the volume somewhat down. And there's some volume drop, but it's mostly a change in the amount of gain and the amount of tone. Here's with the volume all the way up. So again, a lot of different kinds of sounds. Here's it through a Electro Harmonix Big Muff. So you can get the kind of spacey sounds that Jazzmasters are often known for if you use your pedals wisely. Yeah, so that's the guitar through the Ibanez TSA. I did also want to show you another setup to use. Now, I make a lot of electronic music as well as playing guitar, so a program I use a lot is Native Instruments Guitar Rig 5. Now, not all of you might like to use digital processing for your electric guitars, but I like to do it because I think you can get interesting sounds. I'm able to get setups I can't get in real life. And I wanted to show you how those sounds were through Guitar Rig, because I've noticed that some guitars might sound better through digital systems than others. So for those of you who might be planning on using this guitar in an electronic setup, I wanted to show you how that sounds. So let me go ahead and switch over to Guitar Rig. So Guitar Rig, of course, can do all kinds of crazy sounds if you wanted to. But let me switch to a more manageable sound. Just 1 second. So I think even with the digital system, it holds up really well. The nice thing I like about these pickups are I feel like all the notes ring out in a really true way, and that's true even when you run it through a laptop like I'm doing now. In addition to that, you can hear, my physical setup, if you will, doesn't have a whole lot of metal sounds to it because I don't really play a whole lot of metal. But using Guitar Rig, I can show you what it would sound like, perhaps close to it. Here's what it would sound like through what they call the gratifier amp, which I believe is supposed to be just a clone of like a Mesa Boogie double rectifier. So, yeah, I think even with this mock-up or this imitation of a metal-sounding guitar or metal-sounding amp, you can see that not only can it do it, but again, it can get a whole bunch of different sounds through it. So, yeah, and of course, too, this program does all weird sounds as well, and this can definitely hang with the weird sounds if you wanted to. Anyway, the Modern Player Jazzmaster, I like it a lot. I think it has a really beautiful sound. It's honestly become my main guitar since since my wife purchased it for me for Christmas. Thanks again, honey. And I really think this is a guitar that's going to last a long time, be applicable for a lot of different uses. And if you send me a message or leave a comment on this video with any questions you might have about the guitar, I'll do my best to answer them. And of course, I'm sure you can find more information through Fender. But thanks for watching, and let me know if, again, if you have any questions.